Konnichiwa, this is SXE Blues, and I'm doing another podcast format to talk about some interesting and cool news that I found online earlier today. To jump right into it, the first story comes from Superhero Hype. We're talking about the finale of Smallville. If you've been a Superman fan or a Smallville fan, the big question on everyone's mind, since we're down to the last 6 or 7 episodes of the entire series, is will Tom Welling finally be in a Superman suit of some type? Now this article cites some discussion with Welling himself, as well as producer Kelly Souders, where they basically kind of give some hints, and less than stellar hints as far as I'm concerned, because, you know, I understand that from the beginning there's been talk about, you know, how would the series end, and it would end with a brief glimpse of Clark wearing the Superman suit and flying off to his destiny and that sort of thing, which this article does cite. But I think, you know, being a Smallville fan since the first episode, and, you know, going through the ups and downs of the series, by this time I was kind of hoping we'd get a little more than just one final shot, you know what I'm saying? But in any case, this is the words out of the mouths of people from the show, giving us a little, you know, perhaps hint of what we can expect. And I hope it's going to be pretty cool either way. But moving on, we have apparently a title change in the Rise of the Apes. This is, I believe, the second title change. I believe it was simply known as Caesar when it was first discussed, and that later was changed to Rise of the Apes. Well, this article from Ain't It Cool News suggests that apparently marketing was too vague on the film just being called Rise of the Apes. Personally, I don't see the problem. I rather like Rise of the Apes. But this is giving the new title of the film Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as Rise of the Apes does. You know, and with The Dark Knight Rises, why is everything rises lately, or rising, or, you know. But Rise of the Planet of the Apes is apparently going to be the new title. I hope I'll get used to it, because I was, like I said, rather fond of Rise of the Apes. You know, I mean, they could have gone Dawning of the Planet of the Apes, for that matter, you know. But check it out. Let me know what you think. Moving on from there, we have from Latino Review, cool little, for anyone who's been interested in Bond 23, the next incarnation, which will feature Daniel Craig as James Bond, perhaps for the last time. I really love his Bond. Casino Royale really got me into Bond movies. I was really not into them at all. In fact, I kind of had a distaste for them. But after watching Casino Royale, it really, kind of in the same vein that Christopher Eccleston on Doctor Who, when I watched that first season of the new series, I found myself really opening up to all the older stuff and really curious, and I began to love it all. Same thing with the Bond. The modern Bond shaped my passion for both old and new. So this latest article basically just gives you a little sort of preliminary about that they're scouting locations. So, you know, raising hope that we're going to finally get a new Bond film soon. And by soon, in the next few years, obviously. Moving on from there, sticking with the undercover agent theme, a new trailer for Johnny English Reborn is out. YouTube link and article from Latino Review will be down below. The review features a synopsis. You know, I wanted to talk about this mainly because I just love Rowan Atkinson, and even though the original Johnny English wasn't the best movie ever. It's still pretty entertaining, and he's just pretty cool. So check out the trailer. I think it'll be pretty fun. Going with the comedy vibe now, or rather sticking with it. For the casting in the Farrelly Brothers Three Stooges, we already have Will Sasso as the potential Curly. Well, official confirmation comes down that Sean Hayes, formerly of Will and Grace, will take the Larry position in the trio. And, I'm still kind of bleh about this whole movie, but I have to admit that my curiosity's kind of just beginning to peak a little bit. But curiosity doesn't mean good product in the end. Also, the Empire Online article mentions that Sofia Vergara is being eyed to potentially be the, if you've ever watched the original Three Stooges shorts, there's always a trio of women, or always one woman that gets them into trouble some way, some sort, somehow. And that's apparently the vibe they're going for with her. But, we'll see what happens with this. I don't know. It's one of those deals where I don't know if this is the best decision to make a movie, but maybe it'll end up being good. Who knows? The two final things, kind of breaking away from entertainment news, is an article from io9.com, which is mentioning a resistant superbug that has been found in Delhi in the drinking water and bathing water and cooking water of the country, and it could potentially spread worldwide at some not too distant future date, making current antibiotics sort of invalid when it comes to some major diseases and things of that sort. And, probably one more thing to add to the doomsayers' philosophy of the end of the world. But, I just think it's one of those things that if more people become aware of, maybe funding or maybe, some kind of resilience can be prospered, so to speak. But the final thing, to go from a sort of dark story about, diseases, to a sort of humorous thing is, again, from IO9. There's this pretty cool image. They note it as the most perfect photograph on the internet. And this is because, well, you'll see the image accompanying my voice here, but this is a tugboat called the Millennium Falcon. Definite nod to Star Wars. But what is really cool about this particular shot is, if you notice behind it in the background, there are two cranes that are commonly referred to as AT-ATs. And to have the Millennium Falcon pulling into port with two AT-ATs behind it, that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much going to cover everything that I found interesting. If you have any ideas of cool things to look at in the future, or, if you like what you hear, definitely give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and that'll be it for now. So, SXE Blues, signing off.